I am ready.
Hello, I believe we are in fact live. Welcome to unusual,
Welcome, welcome.
unorthodox, and deeply unsettling news. Brent, how are you doing this fine
I'm good.
Saturday
I'm doing really
day?
well. I'm doing really well. I've just been spending my whole day reading True and False Pope all day long.
Oh, that's not
So
true.
remember that time?
Yeah, I do
That's
remember
what we're
that
gonna
time.
do
I
this
thought
live stream. We're
we.
just gonna read the whole thing,
No,
actually.
man, that is the
Oh,
opposite of what anybody
okay.
wants. It's like in the Man on the Moon movie about Andy Kaufman, where his bit is just he reads The Great Gatsby. Like,
Yeah,
that's the whole bit. He just reads that.
right.
No, we are not going to read True or False Pope. That's not what we're going to do here. That would be, I think, illegal, is my
I think it
guess.
would
Is
be.
that would
Yeah,
actually straight up
yeah.
be illegal.
Salsa would get on us.
Um, let's kind of see here.
How are
I
you
am
doing, Dylan?
getting an error message. Please
No.
use a keyframe frequency of 4 seconds or less. Currently, keyframes are not being sent often enough, which can cause a buffering. I don't really. Current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds.
Ooh.
So I don't know what that means. So, the listeners, please, or
Yeah,
viewers,
let us know.
please let us know what it's looking like, what we're sounding like. We're getting back to the live stream thing, which I'm very excited about. And there's a lot to talk about. A lot has
There
happened
is.
over these past few months. So let's begin. Let's take a look at some of the things that have been happening. Uh,
I did see
so,
Roger say, sorry to interrupt, Dylan. I think Roger
oh,
said that the chat is disabled or not working.
chat is disabled.
I don't know.
Huh.
Jub is saying stuff.
That's
Thank you.
weird. Why? Let me take a
I
look
see.
there.
I see Jub there.
The
So he's
chat
on
is
there.
disabled. I'm not sure why that would be. Jeb is using it. Let's kind of see here.
All message
My
visible.
YouTube chat. Maybe I'll try another browser. Yeah, I would do that. Cause yeah, Jub's doing it.
Yeah, and
Jub
he
is
barely knows
able.
how to use a computer. So that's like,
Yeah, Jub.
it's amazing.
It's God bless him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so hopefully, the on the live stream it got a little fun. So let me. Okay, so anyway, we have a few kind of things we want to talk about. We're kind of doing a little bit of a different format than we did previously, where it was all just kind of like sharing different videos. We're kind of just sharing some fun things we found on the internet, some things that kind of fit into the unusual, unorthodox, and unsettling, but don't quite fit necessarily on the podcast. So more
Yeah.
action leaders than thought leaders. And so
Yes.
here's a perfect example of the kind of thing that I'm thinking about. Let me just kind of share this with you real quick. Zoom! Look at that production value.
Boom.
This is somebody made, and I think they just used like Face App on their phone. They superimposed paintings of the presidents uh, onto kind of modern day politicians. So we got, for example, George Washington. This is what George Washington would
George
look like.
Washington.
Yeah, so my guess is that's Biden. So that's pretty good.
It's like
Uh,
modernized.
yeah, exactly. It's like a modernized. So we got John Adams. This is what John Adams would look like. Uh, some of them
That
though
is
are not so good. So let's go do one more. So we got Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson, looking pretty good.
okay.
But some of these are kind of creepy. So John Quincy Adams, I find
Oh,
this a little disheartening.
disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah, not a big fan of this, frankly. Um, let's look at some of the other ones. So this looks like I think it was Dick Cheney, maybe,
Oh, wow.
or Martin Van Buren, I
Yeah.
believe. That's fun. But let's look at some of the ones that aren't so good. Let's kind of see. So this was her first
Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. I
Oh
was
my
not.
God.
I was not a big fan of
Wow.
this. This is
No.
really disturbing. But then this is Ulysses S. Grant. This is when Ulysses
Didn't
S.
realize
Grant.
he owned a gastropub, so that's nice.
Yeah,
Very
yeah. This
hipster.
is the hipster general. Um, And then she did, I think, a bit. The person who did this redeem herself. I find this
Okay.
Lincoln much better.
Yes.
That's my personal opinion. But yeah, this is Mags the
Kucinich.
Sags on the Twitter. This is literally the only thing I know she does. And she is not. She made it very clear that she's not a digital artist. Yeah, Face App and the airbrush on her phone. So
That's cool.
I have to say, very cool
Yeah,
for being
that's
able
really cool.
to, not take all that long to do. So hey, hats
Yeah.
off to you. That is difficult stuff. Difficult stuff. Oh, it looks like Roger was able to get it working. Glad, for everybody, please join us in the chat. We would love to kind of hear what you're saying, hear what your thoughts are on this beautiful, beautiful day. And I hope, despite the fact that YouTube is yelling at me, I hope the stream is coming through just fine. Just fine. So, Brent, what's been the best part so far of January? 2021. We got a new year. What have you been enjoying
Yeah.
so far?
So for me personally, the year has been best as no no constant daily newsfeed panic and
Mm,
no Twitter panic. So obviously Joe Biden has been extremely boring, very adult. Things are not chaos constantly. So that's been
yes.
really relaxing. So
Yeah, very
that's
different. Very different. It's I don't he's not the president Joe Biden is not constantly on my mind.
yes.
And I remember
And
I
that's so wonderful.
actually uh, I saw somebody did a series of pictures. This might have been like a week, so maybe like a week ago. Now, excuse
Uh-huh.
me, like the 27th, something like that, where somebody did the pictures and how there's always like the past like 50 years or something. There's always been a picture of all the living presidents.
Yeah.
Uh, and they were kind of going through and they said that probably we're not going to have that. And the last picture with all the presidents at the time was at, I think, John McCain's funeral. And so you see, by Clinton's there, Obama's there, George W. Bush is there, and then Trump's there. And it was like the first time I had seen Trump in like a week.
Yeah.
And I just got chills. Got chills
Yeah.
having to deal with that. It's like, man,
I
it's
remember
straight up PTSD
it is. Yeah. I can,
like a
yeah.
situation. It's
It is.
really scary. So that is good. It seems like I have to say,
I think he's doing a good job,
he's doing a
Biden,
good
so
job.
far.
He's getting
Yeah, I'm
stuff
really
done.
impressed.
Lloyd Austin is cleaning out the military, kind of finding
Hmm.
people who are part of these extremist groups and kind of making sure to get them out of there, which is great. Um, Using the budget reconciliation process to probably pass
Yes.
the
COVID.
1.9 trillion bill.
Right.
Really excited about that. So yeah, lots of stuff is happening, but there's something that you're not hearing enough about.
Hmm.
Um, and one of our truly brave representatives
Oh yes.
was able to get this out. One Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is
MTG.
she's trying to do the AOC thing by going by MTG, but
Yeah.
MTG only stands for one thing, and that's Magic the Gathering, so that's not going to happen. But she informed us of something else, namely the presence of Jewish space lasers. Or excuse me, just one.
Yeah.
I think there's just one Jewish space
Just one.
laser.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Specifically, a Jewish space laser which caused the California wildfires.
Yeah. Yep.
Specifically, it's a space laser owned by the Rothschilds, amongst others, and we all know what Rothschilds is code for. Now, some people have
Yeah.
gotten upset because we've talked about this in the Discord. I think Roger was actually one of them. Got upset because it's not clear it's actually a laser beam. It looks
Mm.
like it's reflecting. So, for example, let's look at this line here. The idea is clean energy to replace coal and oil. If they are beaming the sun's energy back to Earth, I'm sure they wouldn't ever miss a transmitter receiving station, right? So it seems this is technically like a giant magnifying glass scenario,
Right. Yeah.
as
Yeah.
opposed to a scenario where it's actually a matter of shooting a laser beam. Now, I don't know the difference.
Hmm.
I think the Jewish part is the Jewish and space is really important. But people were getting upset that it's not a laser. People were, that's what matters here. That it's not a laser. And how dare you call it a laser? It's illegal and it should be stopped. Because frankly, it's not a laser.
I just like get refreshing. I think it's a refreshing break when she takes a break from her like she switches her anti-Semitism from Rothschild to Soros. So that's a nice one when she does that.
Yeah,
I've seen her do that, which is nice.
yeah,
It's a
definitely. You
nice like
gotta update it. The
yeah,
Rothschilds.
you got to move it around.
It's been a couple hundred years now. I mean,
Right.
we gotta. He's been get with the Soros.
Yeah.
I like how they, it's like they're passing on. I imagine the like Jewish cabal elite is passing on the conspiracy torch to Soros. It's like, all
Yeah.
right, we get all this garbage all the time. Now you have to deal with it, and he's now officially the person to do it, and that's great. But space lasers, that's not serious. But I think Brent has something that's actually really important.
I
That's
do.
happening
Yeah.
right now, and I think we all need to talk about it. And I think Brent, can you fill us in on what is happening in
Yeah,
Oklahoma?
it's this early January. Oklahoma State Representative, who's a Republican, just shock. It's Justin Humphrey.
Irrelevant.
He
That's
Yeah,
irrelevant.
it is kind of irrelevant, but
Yeah.
he's the genius behind this bill. So this bill, this article we are showing here points out a really fun thing that this lawmaker is known for, besides making laws for hunting mythical creatures. So he's got another fun thing he did. He made national headlines in 2017 when he proposed a law that would make it illegal for a woman to have an abortion without a man's consent. So that's what he's known for. That's like his main work. But
Without a
besides that,
man, I just love how
he called him a
like it's
host. He said he called women hosts that hold pregnancies. So, yeah.
I like how he's like, look. It's not that I'm pro-life. That's ridiculous. It's that I'm a misogynist. She just has to get permission from a man. That's really the
Yeah.
issue here. I have to say I'm kind of disturbed by this, as you can imagine, because Bigfoot needs rights.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
He has the right to exist. First
he
off.
has the right to exist. And I think Roger's actually bringing up a really important question here, which is if you make it legal to hunt Bigfoot, how do you identify something as Bigfoot? Because we don't have any Bigfoots.
Right.
Whereas like a deer, we know what a deer is. We can point to
Yeah.
deers. We can tell people Bigfoot doesn't actually exist. So
Yeah.
like, it's Bigfoot hunting season, and then I just shoot some tall guy. And I'm
Right.
like, well, to
A
me,
very
that's
hairy,
all a
tall
Bigfoot
man.
is a hairy tall
Yeah.
dude. It's not a different
Right.
species.
Or
So I
someone shooting
wonder-
one of those dumb commercials with Bigfoot, like whatever. I forget what the ad is, but they could be
Yeah,
shooting
that is-
outside. Boom. Dead.
There's going to be the Bigfoot defense where
Yeah, the
somebody gets
Bigfoot
off
acting
because,
defense.
look, I thought I was hunting Bigfoot. I don't see what the problem is. Yeah, I also, so going back to that non-pro-life misogyny bill, it reminds me of, this was a few years ago now, when I remember I was on the treadmill, I was watching the news, and, being on the treadmill, you just see the scroller guy. And the thing that pointed out was, in quotes, it said, legitimate rape. And I was like, oh God, somebody said something awful. And it was the story about how a legitimate rape will shut that whole thing down. I think was the phrase, like the body has a way to shut that whole thing down in terms of the in terms of just how like it's going to like automatically make it so that what do you call it here? Make it so you miscarry, basically. So that was the claim about women's anatomy, that the body can like, okay, this is not consensual. The body can figure that out, and then when it gets that signal, it'll miscarry, and so that's why he was against allowing abortions for for women who have victims of rape. Great reasoning. As is noted, yeah, there's definitely a lag in chat. That's kind of just that goes with the territory. There's always going to be a lag in the chat, unfortunately. It's just sad the way it goes. It's just the way it is. All right. So Bigfoot.
So yeah,
Marjorie Taylor.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's really good stuff.
It's the important things in life.
Yeah, some important things. Let's talk about let's talk about something else though. One is, let's get back to Trump.
Good. I've missed him.
We've missed him definitely. But we gotta.
It's been a while.
We gotta clean up. Yeah. So one interesting factoid is, right before he was no longer president, he pardoned a bunch of people, as everyone's heard, including former Detroit Mayor Kwame Kilpatrick. That's been pretty
represent
here. Kind of a dirtbag, but whatever. Who cares? He can't run again. I don't mind. But there was one man at least. Let me double check to find his name. There was one man who was pardoned, who does not know why he was pardoned. So I wanted to share this story.
That's
so awesome. Here we have this kind of a story from the NBC News, where one Gary Hendler is the uncle of this reporter, and he never asked for Trump to give him a pardon, because there's a whole jockeying thing when pardon season comes to kind of get pardons. He didn't actually. What's funny is that he didn't actually serve any jail time. He pleaded guilty to drug conspiracy charges, in 1984, so kind of a while ago. But Trump decided, you know what, you no longer committed that crime. So for seemingly no reason. And so it's kind of a very bizarre scenario, just how this man ended up on Trump's desk. And you know what? It's kind of nice because, he's a drug addict.
Yeah.
He's a former addict. And so this is something I love to see. We all deserve a pardon, I think.
Yeah.
It would have been better if he pardoned all, kind of nonviolent.
It would have been even better if you wouldn't have ran off of, Hunter Biden's addiction problems over and over and how bad he is. All that. That was not a good strategy, probably.
That would have been bad. And actually, it's funny. I'm glad you mentioned a hunter who was a drug addict, because there was another hunter who had some drug problems. His name was Hunter S. Thompson.
I think I say Bigfoot hunter,
but they probably are too. The Bigfoot hunters probably do have some problems with drugs, and that's perfectly fine. So there was a funny story that kind of came to light a few years ago about an interaction between Hunter S. Thompson, who was acting as editor for the New Yorker, if I'm not mistaken. No, I'm sorry, Rolling Stone. This is Rolling Stone. He was acting kind of in an editorial role, and Burgess, kind of Burgess of A Clockwork Orange fame, Anthony Burgess, I think. Yeah, Anthony Burgess. Yeah. He was supposed to write a quote-unquote think piece for Rolling Stone. He was kind of, going behind schedule. And he said he was working on something else. And he said, look, what if I send you a, quote, 50,000 word novella I've just finished, all about the condition humain, etc. In place of a think piece. This was his kind of idea. Like, look, I can't do the think piece. What if I send you this big long thing? Hunter S. Thompson was not pleased. Dear Mr. Burgess, Herr Wenner has forwarded your useless letter from Rome to the National Affairs Desk for my examination and or reply. Unfortunately, we have no international gibberish desk, or it would have ended up there. What kind of lame, half-mad bullshit are you trying to sneak over on us? When Rolling Stone asks for a think piece, goddammit, we want a fucking think piece. And don't try to weasel out with any of your limey bullshit about a 50,000-word novella about the condition human, etc. Do you take us for a gang of brainless lizards? Rich hoodlums? Dilettante thugs? You lazy cocksucker. I want that think piece on my desk by Labor Day, and I want it ready for press. The time has come and gone when cheapjack scum like you could get away with the kind of scams you got rich from in the past. Get your worthless ass out of the piazza and back to the typewriter. Your type is a dime a dozen around here, Burgess, and I'm fucked. if I'm going to stand up for it any longer, sincerely, Hunter S. Thompson.
That's why you never write letters when you're on pure mescaline or chewing on an adrenal gland. You just don't do
Yeah,
it.
you definitely don't want to do it. But honestly, I think
Hate
I think
it.
that was fair criticism.
That's so
You know,
that's so Hunter calling a lizard.
yeah, definitely the
Yeah.
lizard stuff I felt was very very kind of with him. But it's funny seeing Hunter S. Thompson on the other side, because you know he's been on the other side of
Yeah.
that condition where he's constantly late
Totally.
sending stuff in, and then he just sends him a bunch of notes that they have to paste together. So it's great. It's great seeing Hunter on, kind of on
That's
the
good.
side of that. Like, as soon as you become the boss, if you stare into the abyss stares back, kind of scenario. So it's really good to see. Really good to see. Let's see what else do we have here. Brent, what do you want to talk about? You got a bunch of stuff here. What is
I got a couple things. Well, there's yeah. Let's we can talk about election fraud. In my opinion, if you want to, because it is.
Ooh, got some election fraud happening.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see what
like a
this
little
is
bit
all
less
about.
known, but it's
No,
a
I
AP
don't.
article. Yeah.
No, that's the more Oklahoma guy.
Oh boy, yeah, he's
Is it
everywhere.
is it the Houston guy?
It's the Houston guy. Yep,
Okay, here we go.
it's
Boom.
the AP article. Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I'm talking about.
So
Let's
this,
take a look at this election fraud going
that's
down
right.
in Houston.
Yep, Sean Skipworth and Jennifer Lawrence. They were both competing to be the next mayor of Dickinson. It's a Houston
Mm.
suburb. I think it's like 21,000 people.
Do you
So
know
they
where in
each.
relation to Houston it is?
No idea. I didn't look.
Okay.
I just did no research on this
I
at all.
lived in the suburbs. I don't remember a
Oh,
Dickinson
nice.
though. Yep. No,
Dickinson.
not nice. It's a terrible place. I'm
Yeah,
sure
it's
the
hot
people
as
are
fuck.
fine.
Too humid.
Also, one
One
of them's
thousand. They
name is
each received
Jennifer,
1,000
Jennifer
votes.
Lawrence.
What's
I
that?
don't think it's not the Jennifer Lawrence. It's not the actress.
It is the no, it's not. No,
Okay.
because I think she would have won probably.
Yeah. Yes.
But I think I want to say Skipworth is the Republican. So they both
Okay.
received 1,000 votes, 1,010 votes. Then they had like a runoff election, and then it's just a tie. So according to Texas law, a tie in a race for public office can be resolved by casting lots.
Okay.
So yeah, so Skipworth finally became mayor after a ping pong ball with his name to a hat. So both their names are put into a top hat. And they were pulled out. It only took about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Who did
and of
the
course,
hat?
the winner
Whose
is
hat was it?
Skipworth.
I
It's a
feel
good
we
question.
gotta-
I'm hoping it's like Abraham Lincoln's original hat or something, because
Oh,
it
man,
looks
gotta
like that.
make it
If
official.
you look at it, kind of, it's a top hat. They should have went with like a MAGA hat, actually. That's a little biased though,
Oh,
so maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. It's who knows what's gonna do.
Yeah. So from what I can tell, it was like, it was like, so I think, yeah, like I was saying, Skipworth was the Democrat, I think. So
Mhm.
this is where it gets shady. Because unfortunately the winner the fake loser, Lawrence, he must be one of those never Trumpers, because he didn't even contest the results at all because he lost after they pulled the thing out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what losers do. They just graciously accept defeat.
Yep. He even said he had dozens and dozens of people praying about him, praying about this. But I think it's, so it's a woman. It says, I told Sean that I would support him, and I think that unity is the way to go to get stuff done.
Gross.
This is so like, yes, this is like so years ago. This is not how we do elections anymore. You always want to bitch and complain if it's not real. Yeah.
Also,
so,
it looks
I don't know.
like,
Anyway, I just thought that was
bizarre. So this looks like it is. It's near Galveston, so it's southeast.
Yeah. Oh,
of
okay. Okay.
Okay, that makes
So
sense.
I also want to say there's one other scandal. The Republican watchers weren't allowed into the hat to watch the ping pong ball.
That
was another thing.
Man,
They weren't
that is
allowed
terrible. That is how you know it's fraud.
You get small Republican watchers, you get them in, make sure they're not
gross.
pulling the wrong thing here.
It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible and horrible.
Bullshit.
This also reminds me. This happened with some. This happened with some caucuses, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was this time around or if it was in 2016, where in some precincts in the Democratic primary caucus. I think I want to say it was 2016 when this kind of became popular, where some precincts it was evenly divided between Bernie and Clinton, and what they do to decide in those situations is flip a coin. Which is, I always thought, like, man, that is democracy
That is
Democracy in action when you could just flip a coin.
it's a random
Um,
chance.
so that's yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, unity of the ruling. No, not of the working class. That's a different style of government. But yeah, unity of the ruling class is what they're really. It's because yeah, it's a hat. It was a fancy top hat.
Definitely.
It was it's like one of those Groundhog Day hats.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Because
I was gonna say we
bourgeois.
never mentioned Groundhog's Day. It came and went, and
Yeah,
we've already done a
I mentioned it on my Twitter. I made a huge
Oh, did you?
post about it actually that no one cared about. No one
Oh,
cares about
because
Groundhog Day. It really
he
upsets
saw
me.
a shadow, right? And that was
He
the
did. He did, and
okay.
not all of those folks
And then he was
were
put to sleep.
wearing masks.
Oh, good.
He was not put to sleep. He is immortal.
Oh,
Studdyville is immortal
okay.
because he drinks groundhog punch.
Sorry, I forgot about that.
If I remember, yeah, you
Disgusting.
gotta. It's all very important. It's all incredibly important. So
True.
let's see what else is going on here. The GameStop
That
stuff
was
has been
fun.
fun. I don't know how much you've been following that, Brent. I'm kind
A
of
little bit.
curious where the stock is now. It's not doing
Yeah.
too well anymore
Can we buy in? It was
as
that,
these
and then
things go.
AMC was another one of those, right? AMC.
AMC was another one, yeah. So this isn't looking too hot. If we take a look, that's kind of exactly what you call a bubble.
Let's check Blockbuster.
Definitely.
Where's Blockbuster? Just kidding.
Oh, um,
Oh,
uh, I'm
Hollywood Video.
surprised that Blockbuster it didn't. It wasn't a. They teamed up with Enron. Did you know that about the Blockbuster
No, I don't
Enron?
think so. Wow, that is
Uh,
weird.
that is weird because Enron, like towards the end, they're like scrambling for new ideas to get like money, and
Yeah.
their idea was because what they did. I could talk about Enron all day. I love the Enron story because like their basic business model was to treat natural gas like a stock, basically, and so you could like actually like trade it. So basically, um, you could bid up the price of natural gas in the same way that you
Okay.
can bid up or down the price of a GameStop stock, and like that's how people would get gas. The price you would pay for gas is what the gas stock was, and so
Hmm.
they were like, maybe we could do that for broadband because broadband was just starting in the late '90s. But you can't because broadband is it's not just like pipes, because that's the thing with pipes is you could just turn them on and off. Broadband's not really
Yeah.
like that. But part of that is that they teamed up with Blockbuster to do movie streaming. They were gonna try to do a movie streaming service all
That's
the
so
way in
weird.
like the late '90s, early 2000s, and it didn't work. Somehow it was all a subterfuge.
Can you return your videotapes to Enron if you have any outstanding DVDs or something, VHS?
I'm
So
not
mail
sure.
it to Enron.
You got to rewind them though. I think they, in the same way that the Blockbuster wants to rewind that decision.
I love that. I
Return-
just rewatched. You've seen American Psycho, right? The part he
Yes,
just
many
constantly is
times.
always like, "I've got to
Gotta
return this videotape."
these videotapes. Yeah, I love American Psycho. We might have to do that in the Discord
Great movie.
because
Yeah,
I absolutely love
good
American
times.
Psycho. It's truly beautiful.
So
But yeah, GM, the GM GameStop stock not doing so hot. Lots of dumb takes about this. I think there's a lot of people who are saying, "Oh, look, it's the populists. It's the little guy fighting the hedge funds." Because, I mean, the one thing about this is I think what's the name of the company? There's one company in particular,
Robinhood?
Melvin.
Oh,
So
oh,
there's
sorry,
Robinhood,
yeah.
but then there's Melvin, who is the hedge fund who is shorting GameStop.
Right.
Which my understanding is you short a stock when you borrow it, you sell it, and then you have to give back the stock like in the future. So basically, if you're here, so you borrow a $43 stock and you sell it and you get $43, but then if you have to return it on January 27th when it's $347,
Yeah,
you've lost a bit of money.
shit ton of money. Yeah.
And what's funny is that so when you buy stocks, the amount you lose is just tied to how much you bought. So if you buy a $20 share and the company goes bankrupt, you lose $20. But with shorting stocks, you literally can lose an infinite amount of money because ultimately, as the stock gets higher and higher and higher, there's no you have no idea really how much you're risking. And so
Yeah.
these hedge funds, I think they had to borrow like $3 billion from other hedge funds just to stay afloat. And then Robinhood, everyone was getting upset at Robinhood because they kind of paused everything.
Yeah.
Um, and people thought, oh, they're in conspiracy with the hedge funds, but really the issue is kind of settlement fees because with Robinhood you can literally buy like one share or you can buy like a tenth of a share. And it's not like when I buy one share of Apple or GameStop that
Right.
Robinhood goes to their people and like, oh, can I buy one share of GameStop, please? No, they have to buy a bunch. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of, so when they get all of these buys, they have to buy like a bunch of it. And
Yeah.
so they couldn't afford it. And so they had to pause things. They're like, let's calm down a little bit. So nothing nefarious, but
Yeah.
definitely
Right. Right.
definitely a fun story.
Business decision. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So let's talk about something even more fun. So you might know one
Oh, yeah.
Enrique Tarrio. I don't
Hmm.
know if you know who this man is. He is the founder, not the founder, excuse me.
He's the
Is
proudest of the boys.
he
Let's
is the
just say that.
proudest of the boys. I think that is the
Let's
perfect
hear it for
way.
the boys.
That's the perfect way of saying it. And he was arrested because he brought some fancy guns to DC to sell, which you can't do. That's not right. And it turns out our friend Enrique Tarrio is a longtime federal and local law enforcement snitch,
Wow.
which is incredible. I mean, I think it's been a very, very long time. He was arrested in
Dang.
2012, 8 years. This man has
Wow.
been a federal informant. And, we don't know all the details, but I mean, this is a common thing. If you've watched any mafia movies, you know that,
Hmm.
they'll, or, a good example of this is, what do you call it? Is The Departed.
Oh
For just
yeah.
a dramatization where Jack Nicholson is running a
Yeah.
business empire and is also a federal informant, where basically
Right.
they let littler fish commit all these crimes in order to catch bigger fish, that kind
The
of
big
thing.
one. Yeah.
And so it looks like our friend Enrique is an example of one of these. And so I believe, let me kind of see here. Yeah, he was doing. He's helped them prosecute more than a dozen people in various cases involving drugs, gambling, and human smuggling. So hey,
Hmm.
that's pretty good. At least the human
Okay.
smuggling part. Um,
Yeah.
he of course denies this, and he says, "I don't know any of this.
Mhm.
I don't recall any of this." So
Oh
not
boy.
really a denial.
Yeah. The
Basically,
recalling.
he fell, hit his
Blacked
head,
out
doesn't
during all
remember. Yeah, yeah, just he was in a fugue state this whole time. But we have the court transcript, so we know who he's all about. So it's should be
Wow.
fun. I wonder if he'll turn on all his comrades
Hmm.
in the Super Proud Boys gang.
All the boys. Yeah. That's
Apparently, The Departed is a knockoff of a Hong Kong film, which I did
Oh
not know.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'd be interested in
That's a
seeing it. The movie's pretty
Scorsese
good.
film, right? Yeah. That's
Yep,
Scorsese.
it's pretty good. I think.
It's
Yeah,
not a bad
enjoy
movie.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not my favorite of his, but
yeah, for sure.
it's good.
But yeah, so it'll be fun to see another guy who is this baked Alaska guy who he's some far right person, YouTube personality, whatever, and he was one of the people streaming themselves going into the Capitol. And it appears he's turning on everybody. It appears he's selling
Oh,
everybody
boy.
out. So it'll be fun to see all those what do you call them? All those court cases go on because these are all weak people. And so, it'll be fun to see kind of how it goes. I'm trying to find, speaking of the Capitol, there's one thing that we've learned about Washington, D.C. is that everybody's cell phone is tracked in D.C. basically. So there's just no way to hide. So kind of one of the things they said was that if you had a cell phone and you went into the Capitol, we know who you are. We can track where you went. And I can't find it, unfortunately. That's too
Especially
bad.
if they have 5G, because that's even more of a they can.
Oh, that's even
It has
more.
like a
Yeah,
bioluminescence they can look at from above the chemtrails. Like that's a whole thing.
exactly. Bill Gates knows exactly where you are
Oh
if you
yeah,
have a
at all
5G
times.
phone. I
Yeah.
can't find it though. There's actually a graphic kind of tracking people in like the mall, and it's literally they're all bunched up at the Stop the
Cinnabon.
Steal rally,
Oh, okay.
and then just all move towards the Capitol. So I wonder what caused that. I wonder what caused that. We'll never know. We'll never know. And if you say otherwise,
Yeah.
you're lying. You're lying. It's terrible. You should stop doing it. And it's illegal. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay. What's going on here? Let's see, Brent. Let's see what else you've got on our agenda. I think we have an up. Looks like we have.
Oh, if only
video.
Chris was here.
Yeah, if only Chris was here.
We'll have to send this link to him so he can see this.
Yes, exactly. So I would like to. Excuse me. Let's share first. This is actually directly relevant to our series on Brent's childhood Christian Science textbook. Christian Science, not Christian Science, but Christian Science.
Actual footage of me being indoctrinated and playing.
Oh my God.
No, that'd be great.
That would be great, but it's not that. But this is looks like it's a bit of a welcome video from our friends over at Becca Books, the Becca Academy. So we gotta share this with you all. Let's see what's
unaccredited for life.
Oh,
welcome to the Becca Academy family. We're so glad to have you. You've joined a family of over 63,000 students from all 50 states, 6 territories, and over 90 foreign countries. And we're thrilled to have you on board.
90 foreign
making the decision of where your child will go to school is a big one. And we believe you've made the right choice. You're going to love a Becca Academy. We're committed to your educational experience, and we'll be here for you every step of the way. Our courses are carefully designed to provide the highest quality education possible.
That's like so far so good.
For us, that means 4 things.
Okay, here we go.
The first is building all of our educational principles on the strong foundation of the truth of God's Word. Our textbooks are not Christian revisions of progressive educational materials. Our writers, editors, designers, and illustrators approach every single subject area from a biblical perspective.
Notice not one Bible anywhere.
World through the lens
yeah,
of
that's a good
truth,
point. We're
laying
the
foundation of values
no Bibles.
that stay with him throughout his entire life.
I just like it's not
backed by our commitment.
It's not a Christian. It's not a Christian revision of just progressive education. We're starting from the foundation. We're not, we're going from the ground up.
Yeah, exactly.
To a biblical worldview, we are building the highest quality education.
I should probably take off this Darwin shirt. I feel a little.
We utilize a 7-step research and development process to ensure our
light on fire
materials
in a little bit
are
here.
constantly improving. From studying academic trends to practicing rigorous curriculum mapping to studying national and state standards. We also take into consideration every customer comment because we're in this together.
While we're constantly working to improve the curriculum, we're committed to staying true to what works, which is why everything we do is built on an educational philosophy that's proven to work. Our teachers skillfully use concepts like phonics-based reading, cross-subject integration, and a spiral learning approach, because they're components of an effective traditional educational philosophy.
That's phonics from a biblical
with a proven
worldview.
track record of success.
Yeah, biblical phonics.
Of course, learning all the knowledge in the world means
they're
nothing
backing
if
up.
the
They're getting
student
backed up.
isn't able to apply it. We want your
So
child
much demand,
to be
they're
able
like
to
boxes are
analyze
getting
and
cranked.
interact with the world around him confidently.
Oh, they're watching their own video. Do you
Grounded
see
in a
how that was like
foundation of knowledge,
Inception?
understanding, and wisdom. Your child's development of critical thinking skills alongside a biblical worldview is our primary objective.
We are here for you every step of the way. No matter what you may need assistance with, you can reach out to us any way.
All right, I'm getting bored. Who
cares? It's like that's only half of it.
Yeah, I guess the comment that they know the Bible so well they don't need one. They've memorized it.
Yeah, don't even need it.
The Bible.
Just all in their
Where's
head.
the Bible? The Bible's right here. The Bible's all up here. I don't need a paper Bible. That ain't the word. That ain't the word in there. So yeah, so that's kind of sad.
So there's that.
So speaking of, let's take a look at what the algorithm is recommending. I'm a big fan of this kind of explaining the accredited versus unaccredited distinction. And my guess is how it's totally unimportant. That's going to be my guess as to what's going on there.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's great. That's just great. I don't think we need that company. I don't think we need what they're selling.
Right.
We have so many other books. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. So here's the next video. We have a bit of an update from twin flame expert herself, Dr. Amanda Noel.
Doctor, that's right, Doctor.
Reincarnation of an Aphroditean high priestess.
Yeah, so the doctor thing is really like minuscule if you want to lead in with the goddess thing, and then
that definitely doesn't really matter. What really
goddess
matters,
PhD.
Yeah, exactly. That's the important thing here. And it looks like
they're
getting a lot of fruit, and it looks like they're getting involved. I didn't realize you set it to a specific time. I apologize.
I didn't actually.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Okay.
Greetings,
so we have some updates, and it looks like her twin flame is actually getting into the Bitcoin.
Yes. Yeah.
He's waiting for it to
Another
move.
Called Ordinary is merging together our shows.
Yes. Soon it'll just be one. It'll just be one topic. All right. So let's see what Dr. Amanda Noel. We got an energy report 20.
She's with the bangs too this year.
Yeah, not a good idea.
Happy 2021. Hi, it's Dr. Amanda Noel, Twin Flame Alchemist here. And yes, I got banged this new year. It is a big year for my hair.
Boom.
Natural Botox. You can't see the 11s anymore. I'm looking so refreshed. Welcome back to a fresh new year. Last year kind of sucked.
Was that part of the video? Was that her child? Does it have?
I'm looking so
did they
refreshed.
breed more kids?
Yeah, that is 100%.
Last year kind of sucked, as last
and then she kind of looks over like
and twin flame energy forecast
who are these people?
predicted.
Yeah, weird
that's their cult. The cult has finally been built.
Messenger, and this year luckily is going to be a lot better. So it's a time for celebration. And now you're wondering, what will the overall energy of 2021 be like in terms of love and connections and finding your ultimate soulmate? Or reuniting.
I'm more worried about the
your
yoni. Is the yoni going to be addressed?
Well, you'll find out in this video with my 2021 predictions. And yes, this year is an upgrade. So sorry for the last year, but there is good news. 2021 is going to be a time for celebration and coming back together. We're not through the woods just yet, but soon we'll be leaving behind all the crap from 2020 and using it as
I'd be curious if doesn't YouTube demonetize when you say coronavirus, or it did near the beginning? So I have to wonder if she even brings it up, because she was talking about, and they were also probably banning people that are like, oh, this is a cure. But I would have to assume that she was talking about using energies to help yourself with coronavirus at the beginning.
You just got to be careful.
I'm just assuming, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Some pussy power magic is going to cure you of coronavirus. I'm sure, I bet she was careful. I bet she was careful.
Probably careful with that money.
Yeah, exactly. Just, it's not that you can cure.
It's the blissinaire attitude.
The blisspreneur. With the two $signs for the bliss.
Yeah.
So that's how you know it's real. When you get all those $signs.
And that video is 30 minutes long, so what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to play that whole fucking thing. Jesus Christ. No, we're not doing that at all. Let's see what else is going on here. I want to see. We have a thing to end on. Oh, there's one thing somebody made. So there's a gentleman. You might have heard of him. Brent, I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is Ted Cruz. Do you know who Ted Cruz is?
Faintly remember. Oh yeah, Pure Horror. Yes, I remember him now.
Yeah, he was one of the people who objected to the votes, the Electoral College votes, which is his right as a senator. It is his right.
Objected to democracy.
He's allowed to do that. But he did it for reasons he knew were false, which I think is the important part. Because everyone's like, look, it's his right. He's allowed to. It's like, yeah, but he knew for a fact it was false, what he was saying. So, like, yeah, he was legally allowed to do it. But it's not good. I'm legally allowed to piss on the floor. I shouldn't do it. Anyway, so...
unless you're in the Capitol, you don't want to piss or poop.
Yeah, exactly. You save that for,
that's where you do it.
The buildings that house our democracy.
Or any kind of federal building. Remember, the Bundys had a problem with that.
Yeah, they were also peeing and pooping in the wrong place. It seems, federal buildings in general. But so we have a bit of a blast of the past for one Mr. Ted Cruz. This was the moment he sold his soul.
Okay.
But you mess with my wife, you mess with my kids, that'll do it every time. Donald, you're a sniveling coward, and leave Heidi the hell alone.
So will you support him as the nominee?
But you mess with my wife.
Oh, God. Speaking of sniveling cowards.
Wow.
Yeah,
your dad killed JFK, sir. Just get used to it.
Dad killed JFK. I guess Heidi is ugly. Who knows?
Mess with Heidi, you're good. Never mind. You're fine.
Yeah, you're gonna support him.
You'll get my undying support.
And then there's that really sad photo of Ted Cruz. Oh, let me see if I could find it. Where he's phone banking for Trump. Phone banking. Yeah, it pulls up right away. Which is like the saddest. This has to be the saddest photo in American history. Let me pull it up real quick. Boom. Oh, what a pathetic loser he is.
Wow. So much.
Yeah.
Come on, Texas. What the hell?
We almost had Beto. Almost had Beto, but one day maybe we'll have Beto. Okay, let's kind of see here. I think we're getting towards the end here. So, I think it's time. I got something I have to do, actually. I have a late night Crimson session I have to get to work on. And so I figure start a little early, kind of, help us out. So thank you, everybody, especially Roger. Thank you so much for being in the chat. Thanks, we always love people chatting our way. And we want to make this kind of a regular part, doing it once a month kind of thing. We are recording our next episode tomorrow. And so that'll be out next week. Again, it's been kind of a week over here in the Dylan household. So we'll get that going. But we did want to end on something to segue into our Discord after party, which we invite everybody to. And it has to do with our friend Neil Breen. Neil Breen has been dealing with some corruption. As we all know, I mean, that is his kind of number one opponent is corruption. And we learned about the corruption. This happened a couple days ago, actually. So this is brand new. This is good news. Kim, thank you so much. Good evening to you. You can always join us on the Discord for our Discord movie night. But first we have to talk about, look at this corruption. Etsy is selling illegal copies of Neil Breen's movies. This violates USA copyright law, and so everybody should be demanding that Etsy stop this travesty. It's immoral, it's corrupt, and Breen is going to hack into all your systems, and he is going to shut you down.
Yeah,
but he's
got
classy.
Like 30 computers, and they all don't work because coffee spilled on them. But
he's got
salad,
so
but that's
many
fine.
computers. But he's a classy guy. He's going to demand the people. He's a man of the people, first and foremost. And so, I think everybody should demand that Etsy take these evil things down. It's immoral. It's corrupt. It's just wrong. And you could just stream his movies on YouTube, or you could buy them directly from the man himself. Or, we can either confirm nor deny that that's what we're going to do. But yeah, so join us, everybody. Please do us a solid. Join us over on our Discord channel. And the easiest way to get there is if you just go to nonedarecallitordinary.com. We got this nice little Discord link down here. And we also have this nice little button down here that actually is kind of fancy. Ooh, look at that. You can access it directly from your browser. But yeah, these are 2 ways to get us, and we will be in there momentarily. But until then, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And we will see you next time.
Peace.
Boom.